a problem because we understand, no? We are able to describe. Okay? Categorizing is another one, putting, classifying uh, things, no? Or events or building typology. Okay? What do you think are the safe and unsafe conditions? What does an architect do compared to uh, what an engineer normally does? Okay, so categorizing things. By the way, when these titles categorize, describe, compare, this may sound to you like boxes or exclusives, no, but they are not. Okay, they are actually touching each other and perhaps even overlapping. So in order to compare, you also need to comparing is highlighting the differences and similarities. So comparing may may be based on something that you have described. Okay, so in order to describe, you must sorry. In order to compare, you should have described something. Okay, correlating. Okay, finding out how related is one thing to another. No, uh, for example, the cost of a building is very much related to its area. To some extent, to a great extent, architects would make an estimate of a building based on the area. No? In just a few seconds, an architect or you even, no, can can say with great confidence how much will be the budget for scene house. Okay, so for example, based on a or example lang I'm not saying it is what is prevailing. For example lang, the cost per square meter is 25,000 pesos. So with a 5 million budget, 5 million budget, you can already say na okay, we will confine our plans into 200 square meters. Okay, if you say 250 or 300, wow, for sure that yeah, the 5 million is not going to be enough. But if 200 square meters seems to be big and you think that you'll be very happy with 100, then you can say that yeah, your uh, 5 million will most likely be enough. Okay? So you can evaluate. No? What evaluation would do is not just describe, not just compare, but to make judgments. To make judgments. Okay. Um, I don't know how you are interested with the election, the coming election. I hope you are, but if when I open my Facebook, the feeds that I find are the opinion that COMELEC commissioner made public of disqualifying BBM. Okay, so that in a way she evaluated. Okay, she evaluated the facts. Maybe she initially gathered evidences and facts and and compared this with the laws of the land, and because of that she can make judgment, and that is what we call evaluation. Okay, you can also make an analogy between for a doctor, no? So a doctor, if she or if he or she is able to make some able the doctor can look at your tests, no? Maybe an X-ray, maybe a blood test, then the doctor can can make an evaluation, can make a sorry, can make a diagnosis, okay, of what you are, whether you're normal or not. I hope normal. Okay, so and then predict. No, this is something very, very interesting. Okay, so with certain findings and certain evaluation, you can use research in order to predict, no? Predict the behavior, predict what is likely necessary. No? Okay, so during the start of the pandemic, I somehow, no, because of the lack of, I mean, we have yet to discover many things. No, I was predicting that there will be drastic changes on how houses will be designed, no? To the point that when you enter the house, there must be a washing area. Okay, so well, whether that is still true up to today, we don't know. But is there something else that you can do to predict? Okay, this is something also very interesting, like making some cause and effect relationship. Okay, like there is an excessive buildup of heat in this particular that I see, and I'd like to make an experiment if I can improve, lower the temperature by doing something. No? So the experiment relies very much with control. Okay, so all else being equal, except for one, all else except for one that you're trying to provide as a cause, then you can, all else being equal, this is very challenging. This is not very easy to do, to put everything on a standard, except for one thing. Yeah. Is really making an experiment of the effect of that one thing to the other. Okay, so the effect of a air conditioning system, for example, on the, maybe not an effect. Effect is causal relationship, cause and effect. The other one is correlational. No? There's no cause and effect. It's just related. No? So if you would ask me, can you make a causal relationship or causal relationship between the temperature of the room and the grades of the students? Yeah, that would be interesting to do, but I don't think it is easy because there are many other factors that come in to play with the grades of a student. No? It's all intertwined, interconnected. So maybe a comfortable classroom, a comfortable temperature may likely tend to increase the performance of students in their class. But I will not be surprised if you don't get as much increase, no, in performance. But at least if you'll be too happy if we see a 1%, something like that. And then explaining things is somehow this may lead you to see, no, what is the difference between explaining and describing. So describing is just telling us what you see. Okay, explaining is making sense out of complexities. So very complicated things, but this is how to explain things. Okay, yeah, something like that. Okay, let me pause for Oh my gosh, I forgot to record. Oh my God. But now that I forgot and I remembered. I just remembered now to record. Wait, let me see. Of course, this is not complete, but we will. But recording and the have started. Hi, somebody recorded. Wait, somebody started. Okay. Well, I forgot the recording, but it seems that this is a continuation of the other one. But anyway, so it is being recorded. So what you might likely see in the recording is a compilation of two classes. It's a very long one. You have 2 hours. That would be good. Just a moment. Just a moment, okay? Ano, negative ka, positive. What? 40? It's 14 minutes. Do you have any question? I can let's pause for some time. Then maybe you have any questions, comments, statements to make. I'd really appreciate that. Miss Blessy Shapno, you have any comment? Please.
None so far, Dean.
Miss Shapno.
None so far po. I haven't think occur.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. At
Still
least,
processing pa po.
sorry?
I'm still processing the topic pa po sa mind ko.
Yeah, are you sure? Oh, anyway, anyone else? Jeff, Glenn? Jeff Glenn Lebria? Oh, my.
Sir, yes, sir.
Please bear with me, you know, when I have a very, I mean, not a really good internet. So. Am I okay? Am I still okay? Just give me a heart. Give me a heart if it's okay. No, I'm not okay. Okay, thank you. You can hear me. You can hear the others. Can they
Yes.
not hear me? Don't worry. No, just put a heart. I don't need you talk. Just put a heart there. Then keep it there for some time. Put a heart. You know. What about Meg? Meg Ryan. What about you? Noel, are you there?
Saan mag-heart?
Present, sir.
Oh no, I just saw I just find it there on top of the screen. Yeah, and then that's where I find the heart. It's like the one with hands and kind of a smiley. I even can put a surprise. No, that one on me surprised. Can you find it?
Wala ko kita, sir. Nalibog ba ko, sir?
Lagi. Lagi. What about si Mary Noll?
Sir, I also
Are
can
you
find
still
it po,
alive?
sir.
What are you using tablet, PC, laptop? What is it?
Laptop, sir.
Yeah. On top, the one on topmost, there is a leave from the right side. Leave, then X, then microphone, camera. Let's continue with the presentation. So this is the one from Sharon Miriam. Okay, the title of her book is Qualitative Research. So, but what she did was to compare, no, in a matrix format, in a tabular format, the difference between qualitative research and quantitative research. Okay, and the point of comparison is there on the screen. Let me just use a pen. Uh, pen. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna choose blue. No? So, wait. So yeah, for a qualitative research, you are interested and you're going to talk about the quality. Okay, and quality. What do I mean by that? So uh, something about the stories. Okay, maybe that's one story. More than a number, I'd like to tell you about stories that I saw. Okay, that I saw. I mean, this is my story. Okay, but when you talk about quantity, you are gonna talk about things that you can count. Okay, how many, how much, what's the average, things like that. Okay, and I'm gonna go to. I mean, I'll skip some. The associated phrases, like keywords that you will normally get when you talk about qualitative is field work. Okay, field work, meaning you go out there on the field in the area. How many of you have visited the coastal road when it opened? Anyway, I wanted I wanted to see it personally, no? After I finish my days my days here in isolation, I surely go out biking and then okay, Davao City bike lanes. That's my advocacy. Okay. So I'm gonna go there and look at how people and then but I have seen some posts on Facebook how a lot of people are gathering there. So I'm gonna go there on a weekday and perhaps in the morning. No? So you are going to deal with people or experiences of people, events in a very naturalistic manner. Okay, naturalistic. Okay. And but in quantitative, you'll be experimenting and everything. Very much everything will be treated. The goal of the investigation. Actually, research is an investigation. No? Parang ganito ba? Parang crime scene investigation. You are trying to find out what happened really. You know, you get to the bottom of it. Okay, why was the crime committed? How and who are the people involved? So investigate. The goal of investigation for qualitative is an understanding. Okay, describing. Okay, making hypothesis, generating. Now, but for the quantitative, it's predicting control. Okay, to find out, for example, the vaccine, no? The COVID-19 vaccines, the efficacy rates. Okay, we wanted to know those numbers. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah. So testing, hypothesis testing. Hypothesis testing is a clear-cut process whereby you compare one data to another. So this is a very clear-cut, very easy to do if you are a practical person, etc. No, you just want to pass this subject. Tell me tell me about it. So let's look at some things. I'm also interested in hypothesis testing. Remember that whether the investment on air conditioning is good or bad. No, I want to pursue that, and I'm gonna do that via hypothesis testing. Okay, then next. Wait. The sampling for qualitative will be rather small, no? Maybe only eight as a start, then it can expand up to 12, 16, but depending on certain circumstances. Okay? But in quantitative, the sampling is rather large. Okay? Hundreds, minimum 100. Okay? The data collection is interesting to see here that the instrument to collect data in a qualitative research is the instrument here is the researcher himself or herself. No? So you are the instrument. You are the one gathering the data. And the data can be gathered using interview, observations. But for quantitative research, you will be using instruments such as a weather station, for example, survey questionnaires. Though I'm really not so convinced with the merits, no, of survey questionnaires. Yeah. I'm more for scientific instruments. Maybe I wish really that you were already in campus. No, you can access the acoustic analyzer that we have. No, and anemometers and data loggers, things like that. By the way, let me highlight the use of computers. You know, computers, especially the SketchUp. No, the SketchUp is a 3D tool. Basically, a very nice, very intuitive, easy to use 3D 3D applications. Okay, but no, I use it a lot in simulating the shadows that solar shading devices create. No, I hope students or you, I hope you researchers can take advantage of computer simulation. Now, I saw some animations, no, of a particular extension. No? So you know that SketchUp is able to able to take in extension applications, and then there are applications that you can attach to SketchUp. Precisely, maybe not a precise terminology to attach it, but it's a third-party software that you attach, that you run in SketchUp, and you are able to simulate the shadows created by the various positions of the sun, depending on the day and depending on the time of the day. So SketchUp is not just a tool for 3D. Okay, it is, but you can. Well, now there are other applications that simulate the flow of wind or air. No? Sometimes students or we, even architects, uh, uh, think that cross ventilation will happen. I attended a seminar long time ago, no? And the speaker of that seminar said to the architects, "Be careful with the arrows that you are drawing on your plans," because it doesn't necessarily mean that if you draw an arrow of the wind will follow the arrow. He's just saying that some architects or students, say that there will be cross ventilation, and they draw an arrow, that the wind will go here, pass through there. But no, there are CFD, computational fluid dynamics. Well, you can actually make your own model. That's probably one of the models. No, the scale models are fun to make, though very difficult to make. And then I don't know how you do it, but you can slice it to some extent that you blow a smoke into it and then find out where the smoke, a blue smoke or red smoke, so that it will be clearly evident where it will pass, whether you will really achieve a cross ventilation or not. Okay. Things like that. No? I'm talking about computers. So, okay. The primary mode of analysis for qualitative is inductive. Okay. So with a small pieces of materials or information that you gathered, you come up with some kind of a theory. Okay. And then deductive is the other way around. So based on some theories, general premises, that you find out whether it is manifested, it's being manifested in your research, things like that. Okay. Now the finding. So let's go to some situations here. In conclusion, when you conclude your qualitative research, it will be a story that is very comprehensive, a story, very richly described. That's why I'm kind of warning you. I'm warning you. If you are qualitative research, if you choose qualitative research, you must be fun. You must like to write a lot. No, you must be good in writing. No, listening and writing. You have to be good, because this is the essence of qualitative research: the story, the experiences. Now, but for quantitative research, it is precise, just like the efficacy rate, So Moderna, I don't know, 0.6, Pfizer 0.7, I don't know. Okay, I'm not so sure. I'm just making those numbers up, Or it is precise like that. The reduction of light, natural light. There is a curve, but how far you go inside away from a window, and how the natural light in terms of lux decreases. So it decreases as you lengthen the distance, of course, no? So until the point that you are so deep that you still have light, but to the point that it's not gonna be that it's not gonna be enough for you to read something. Okay, next. So these are the various things that you can do. Explain. They're actually overlapping each other. So in order to compare, you must categorize, describe. In order to evaluate, you have to describe, compare, something like that. Okay. Now I placed the two literature that I gathered. No, so the one of Sharon Merriam and Nicholas Walliman. So Nicholas Walliman mentioned this. Okay. And Sharon Merriam mentioned this, and then I said I tried to make my own opinion that when you describe, you can use quali and quanti. No? Almost everything except for one thing. No, I I'd like to ask you, what is that one thing that you think presented here that you cannot do on qualitative research? What is it? Anyone? Hello? Waiting. Hello? Oh my God.
Correlate, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, correlate. Correlate is something that you can do with quantitative research. Okay. Took a while, no, to say that. But anyway, thank you for saying that. Okay, let's move on. There's a third one actually that I'd like to bring up with you. These are the elements of the research problem area, literature, etc. This is from Keith Punch. Okay, so tatlo ng libro, no? So this is for the whole building. This is what I got from Whole Building Design Guide. You can actually search it in the internet. No? So if you're like trying to look for some issues or research topics, so you can use this one. There are many things there in the whole building design. So accessibility, aesthetics, etc. Okay. Additionally, there are different disciplines. But make sure that this, if you're gonna search for a research problem, make sure that it is something that will be and can be used when you design. Okay. Keep that in mind. We're gonna do a museum, an airport, or something. I don't know what. So I hope that I'm gonna do a research right now, which has some importance, relevance, on what I'm gonna do 2 or 3 semesters from now. Okay, these are the things that I have gathered when I talk to my former professor when I took my master's in urban planning from my professor Isidoro Malake. Okay, so he said that research should be academic, academic because, it should be academic, and being academic must be related to a literature. So you should be heavy. There's some substantial amount of literature that you have considered with your with whatever you're trying to develop. Okay, scientific. You are using or you're going to use something, a methodology that is acceptable. Then original, and this original is qualified because or by the use of a primary data. Data that you yourself have extracted. No? It's not a data that you just borrowed from someone. Okay, you can actually borrow. For example, you can ask me to give you the data of the weather data from 2014 until now. No, I can give it to you. Those were not gathered by you primarily, but it can be considered a primary data because you're the ones who's gonna extract information out of it. No? So the information that you get, that you make sense out of that, is still original. And then it should be scholarly because it should be able to contribute to the body of knowledge. So literature to you and your research, gives back this body of knowledge. You give back to the existing literature, to the deposit of literature. Okay, so that's it. Now I would like to talk about your reactions or comments, questions. Anyone? Okay, so let's proceed. Well, I just hope that you're able to understand the essence and the role of the groups. So first of all, I hope that you have already found your groups and started meeting with your peers, establishing your own communication line. So we will be maintaining this group until the end of the semester. Okay, so this group is like your little classroom. Okay, so whenever I discuss, you can discuss freely in your own group. Maybe because you are with your own peers, you can be more vocal. No, I would understand. You will probably say, kasabot ka atong gisulti ni sir. Wa jud ko libog yun ko ato ba? So may pasabot ana ako sa nalibog sad ko, etc. etc. So unsa man ipangutana nato ni, no? So and then without being so when we meet again, when we meet, then you can ask your group or whoever representative to bring it up to me, and then let me allow me to respond. But the presentation on Monday will be by PowerPoint. So I would like you to present one presentation per group. No, I would like I'm expecting a presentation where you state the name of a person and then briefly discuss the problem. Okay, and of course the thing that you're gonna present on Monday must have gone through some kind of processing already, or some kind of refinement. No? So there will be 5 of you, more or less. Maybe there are groups with 6. Okay, so you should comment on the work of your peer, no? So by dili man na kayo or madam whatever, no? Dili man na siya klaro, no? We are going to use a research problem that has something to do with architectural research. Okay, so most likely we will be having a synchronous meeting for 3 consecutive days next week. Okay, so try to make yourselves available. Okay, and finally, this is not part of the lesson. I would like to ask if you have any hello? Any questions? I posted a video about the policies and rules and guidelines. Do you have any questions? Go ahead, Rosel.
About po, hi sir, good afternoon. About po sana sa 21 years old, but if 21, need na po talaga magkuha ng PhilHealth po.
20.
21.
Sorry.
20, yan pa po.
Okay. Kasi ang dependent ng PhilHealth, for example, is the maximum age of a dependent is 21. So if you are more than 21, meaning you are no longer a dependent of your parents. So you yourself should contribute to the PhilHealth.
Okay
Is that
po.
okay?
Opo.
Yeah, that's it. No, thank you for the question. Okay, so that's it for this afternoon. I'll try to find what happened to the recording. It's still recording. I know maybe it's gonna be, I don't know whether it's 1 or 2 recordings, but whichever, you will find the recording in our LMS. Okay, and I hope I'm relevant to you today. So, and finally, can I ask everyone? There are about 30 of you. This has been 30 of you here to turn on your camera, just for me to see and then check. Sige daw, please.